Dear MMA Gods, I don't make these videos very often because I save them for very, very important situations, and this is a very important situation because I need Charles Oliveira to win against Beneil Dariush in the co-main event of UFC 289 this weekend. Forget about Nunes versus Aldana. You can make that a no contest. You can make Amanda Nunes and Irene Aldana throw a leg kick at the same time, meet shin to shin, and have both of them snap their legs. I don't care about what happens in the main event. I care about what happens in the people's main event. So MMA Gods, please hear me now as I say this. I beg of you, let Charles Oliveira win against Beneil Dariush. It's not even that I want to see Charles Oliveira win. MMA Gods, I can't see Charles Oliveira lose. I can't take that. I can't take Charles Oliveira losing in Canada. I need you to break the curse. Allegedly, based on loose research, Charles Oliveira is 0-4 in Canada. MMA Gods, please. Break this anti-Brazilian curse that resides in Canada and allow Charles Oliveira to win in Canada. I beg of you, please. I don't need it to be crazy. I just need him to get a win. Because I don't want to see Charles Oliveira fall down the rankings in the lightweight division and end up another Tony Ferguson. But he made it to the belt and Tony Ferguson didn't. So it wouldn't be quite the same. I would be happy that he had his moment in the sunshine and had those times where he fought for the belt and he was an absolute G of the division. And finally, we had some epic excitement in a champion in Charles Oliveira. I need him to win this weekend. I can't see him lose. I can't watch him go on a slide. Not only because I don't want to watch him go on a slide, but I don't want to have to listen to those cliff-dwelling goblins talk online about how could anyone think he beats Habib? I don't want to listen to it. I don't want to listen to that at all. I don't want to see a single comment about that. I want the Charles Oliveira dream to live on. And I need him to go out there. And this is why I think he's going to win and how I think he's going to win. I think Beneil Dariush wins. Logic tells me Beneil Dariush wins. Make there be no logic, MMA Gods. You do this so often when I don't ask for it. Please do it now that I've asked for it. I want no logic this weekend at UFC 289. I need no logic. Because logic tells me Beneil's winning this fight. Make me wrong, MMA Gods. You make me wrong very often. Make me wrong when I want to be wrong, please. I'm wrong a lot. I don't ask to be wrong. Please, now I'm asking. Make me wrong. Make Charles Oliveira defeat Beneil Dariush and get right back in the title picture, because I'll tell you this much. If Charles Oliveira beats Beneil Dariush, a chain of events will occur. And I really like the sound of these events. If Charles Oliveira wins, 1, he's back in the mix. 2, the winner of Poirier versus Gaethje 2 will get a title shot against Islam Makhachev. 3, the winner of Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler will get a title elimination bout against Charles Oliveira. And maybe, just maybe, MMA Gods, if you could do me another favor on top of the one I'm asking for, maybe, just maybe, Conor McGregor puts down the sniff, gives his nostrils a break, because they've been begging for a break. His nostrils are at unpaid worker status right now. It's a problem, okay? His nostrils need a break, and he needs to beat Michael Chandler. So MMA Gods, let Oliveira win. Let the winner of Poirier Gaethje 2 fight Makhachev in October, forcing their activity so they can get their title shot. And let McGregor beat Michael Chandler at 155. Then do McGregor versus Oliveira for a title shot. That's all I'm asking for. That's not much. You can get Marab to the top of the division, MMA Gods. You got Bilal Muhammad. Somehow you made it so that Bilal Muhammad found his way into a title shot situation. How dare you use your powers for such things? You used your powers, MMA Gods, to get Beneil Muhammad to a title shot. How dare you? How dare you waste your powers on Beneil Muhammad and leave Charles Oliveira out for broke? I needed him to beat Islam Makhachev. For my own mental health, I need Charles Oliveira to win. If he loses, and if he gets finished, I'm going to be sad for a week. It's going to be one of those fights that makes me sad for a week. Like when I watched Alex Pereira get KO'd. It's going to be one of those fights that leaves me in a mood. I'm going to be walking around my house and I'm going to stop for a moment. I'm going to be in the hallway for a moment and I'm just going to stop and drop whatever's in my hands and suddenly remember that Charles Oliveira lost and see the images in my head, and it's going to make me sad. I don't want that. I need Charles Oliveira to win. I need you to use your powers for good, MMA Gods. You can snap Weidman's leg. You can, for some reason, snap McGregor's leg when we needed him back the most. You work in mysterious ways, MMA Gods. Seems to be against what's good for the sport. Because you had Merab beat Yan. You made Merab beat Yan when I asked you not to. Forgive me for my anger, MMA Gods. I'm sorry. I'm getting a bit over the top here. My beanie's slipping down my head more and more. You got Merab to the top. I asked you not to. You caused the outburst afterwards. That was you. Okay? I didn't want to say those things about Merab that got me in trouble on Twitter. You made me do it, MMA Gods, because I asked you not to, knowing what the outcome would be if Merab would win, and you made me go through it. And I just knocked over a bottle on my desk. I need Charles Oliveira to win. I need Charles Oliveira to go out there tomorrow night. Against what I think is going to happen, I need Charles Oliveira to go out there, march across that octagon to a standing ovation from the Canadian crowd. Soy Canadian crowd. Forget them. It could be any crowd. I need him to march across the octagon, straight into Beneil Dariush with a jumping front kick to the body. That's what I need from him. A jumping front kick to the body. I then need him to clash with Beneil Dariush against the cage. Land an elbow in close. Find the clinch. Land some knees to the body on Beneil Dariush. And I need Beneil Dariush to then poo himself. I want to see poo drop out of the shorts of Beneil. I'm getting a bit carried away here. I want to see Beneil Dariush get affected by those body shots with the knees of Charles Oliveira. I then want Charles Oliveira to separate and move out the way with great head movement, which I know he doesn't have, but you need to give him it for this. You need to give Charles Oliveira head movement for this one favor. I need him to slip out the way of Beneil's shots, making Beneil look silly. And once Beneil misses those two big haymakers that he tries to land back on Charles Oliveira, I need the crowd in Canada to go and laugh collectively. I want a collective laugh at Beneil Dariush as he misses punches on Charles Oliveira. So again, Charles Oliveira sprints across the octagon, jumping front kick to the body on Beneil Dariush, pelts him back into the cage. He marches down Beneil Dariush, gets the clinch, lands an elbow, lands some knees to the body, gets separated, dodges out the way of some punches of Beneil Dariush. The crowd laughs at how silly Beneil Dariush looks at the time. Oliveira's back on mode. Flicks out a jab to feint it, jumping front kick to the face this time. Tags Beneil Dariush, and he's in the clinch again. He might get hit coming into the clinch. Make him take that shot. Let his chin survive that shot from Dariush, because he gets the clinch again. He lands those knees to the body. He starts single collar uppercutting on Beneil Dariush as well. Shatters Beneil Dariush's boring ass nose. Knees to the body again. Separate. Right hand. Drops Dariush badly. Dariush scrambles to get back up to his feet. Oliveira latches up a dash choke, rolls Beneil Dariush over, and makes him tap. And stands up in front of the Canadian crowd, and they worship him. They give him standing ovations. They start chants. Oh, Charles Oliveira. Like they're a UK football crowd. I want chants from the Canadian crowd. Forget about Mike Mallet. Charles Oliveira is going to steal the show in Canada. I need him to win. I then need Nelk to give Charles Oliveira $1 million after he's won. And he's had his glory moment. The glory moment you gave Beneil against Gilbert Burns. You're lucky I didn't pray for that one. The glory moment you gave Merab against Piotr Jan. My Piotr Jan. You gave Merab that moment against him. I've asked you for this favor so many times before. And you barely give it to me. But when I'm picking the person who I think wins, but I want the other guy to win, you do give it to me. Because I prayed for Jiří Procházka to beat Glover Teixeira. And I had Glover picked to win because I thought his grappling was going to be too much. And it was. But you made the call. You did the favor. And you gave Jiří Procházka that win in round 5 by submission. I need that moment for Charles Oliveira. But I don't need the 5 rounds of chaos before or the 3 rounds of chaos before. I need a clean performance from Charles do Bronx. I need him to get millions from Nelk just because they're so amazed to see him in live. They're so amazed to see him live in person, they just give him $1 million for his win. Like he never lost his belt. I then need him to beat a McGregor coming off a win against Michael Chandler. Get that one back in a crazy fight with Conor McGregor. Actually, I kind of want McGregor to beat Oliveira so he can fight Makhachev after if that's happening. I take it back, MMA Gods. Just have him win this one. Because I kind of need McGregor to win against Oliveira because that would mean McGregor versus Makhachev. And that's a different level of spice. But I don't mind. Coin flip the Oliveira-McGregor fight, MMA Gods. Just give me this one against Dariush. Don't let me see him go on. Don't let me see those Dagestani comments of people saying, who could ever compare this guy to Habib? You know what? We can't compare Charles Oliveira to Habib. You want to know why? If Charles Oliveira quit the sport because his mummy told him to after beating Justin Gaethje, then we could compare him to Habib because we'd call him just as much of a pussy as Habib was. And that's how we'd be comparing him. Okay? But he chose to stay on. Therefore, you lose. Headlines, Dagestani fighters. I like how this has just turned into another Dagestani hate rant. It's the only reason I'm an Oliveira fan anyway. I'm joking. But either way, fuck the Dagestanis. I don't know. What was I even saying about him? I had a good point, but I've lost myself in rage against them. I don't want to see him get finished over and over and over again because you know what, MMA Gods? I'm worried that if he does lose to Beneil Dariush, there's nothing good waiting for him outside the top 5 of the lightweight division. And he's not going to get the favors that other fighters would get by getting a layup fight, a weight division up or a weight division below. He's going to be given Arman Tsarukyan. He's going to be given Gamrot, Rafael Fiziev coming off a win. You know what I mean? He's going to be given these matchups. And I don't want to see those matchups. I don't want to see that happen to my boy Olives. I just want to see him choke out that boring pensioner, Beneil Dariush. And then once he's finished that boring OAP, Beneil Dariush, and he's smoked him and knocked his dentures out of his mouth, I want to see McGregor beat Chandler, and I want to see Oliveira versus McGregor for a title shot. The pensioner beaters matching up against each other. McGregor with that old man in the bar, Oliveira with Beneil Dariush. They both like beating up on old men. That's the matchup we need to see. So please, MMA Gods, give Charles Oliveira the win. Make me wrong when I ask for it this time. Because you seem to be doing that a lot when I'm not asking for it. Thanks, by the way. See you later. Goodbye. Toodle pip. Fuck Habib fans.